Hey guys, Timberwalk Productions. It's David Fry. I'm here to talk about PMCS of your equipment, which is, if you guys that haven't been in the military, that is preventive maintenance checks and services of your equipment, which is a very important thing to do, especially if we're talking about archery. I mean, you're holding on to a thing. It does an explosive action, especially if you're buying these bows that are flying 340 feet per second are advertised and usually kicking out about 280 to 300 feet per second on average. You know, it's a violent action that's getting ready to happen. And so I had a successful hunt this year in July. That's the last time I really maintained my bow, or not maintenance, but actually went over it with a fine tooth comb and make sure it was all good to go. Because we went to Quebec, Canada, shot a black bear up there, about 350-pound male. It was a great time. Maybe you ought to check out that video. But it had a blast, and got to harvest a great animal. And but I used the Mathews V331, and I bought it a few years ago from Archer's Edge in Oakdale, PA. It's just outside of Pittsburgh, outside the airport. You know, guys ought to check that out. A great place. Guys really helpful and pretty quick on their services. But bow was shooting great, and then all of a sudden I paper tuned it a week ago before, and it was shooting awesome. The next week comes by, and I just noticed something just wasn't right. My groups were opening up a little bit. Sometimes we think it's us, but other times it can be your equipment. That's what I found out to be. I found a small delamination on my right lower limb, right under the sticker. You can barely see it. It was 2 creases underneath the sticker, and then there was just a small little chip that was taken out of it. So now I'm less than a week before opening day of bow season, and man, I just didn't know what to do. Thought maybe it's going to be covered under warranty, but you know, it's 3 years old. We'll see. It's a Mathews. We hope for the best. Everything worked out awesome. Took the bow up there. The only issue was they're saying, yeah, we'll look at it, we'll get it fixed for you, but we're talking about maybe a month, 2 months. I mean, this is a busy season. This is when everything's kicking off. Everybody's rushing to do the last minute deal. I did not expect to see myself up there trying to get a bow fixed in the last minute. That's the last thing I ever want to do, and it's definitely the worst time to try to do anything like that. So I found the opportunity, and I took it, and I went ahead and bought another one, of course, while they're fixing that one. Why not? Why not have a spare bow? When that one gets fixed, I got another one good to go and ready to go. So here we have is I bought this, another Mathews, of course, because they're awesome. There's a Lift X 29.5. This thing is just on. I love it. It is fast, quiet. I did go a little overboard. Went ahead and got the back the back bar and front bar. I love how everything is in line. And they even, while they're setting the bow up for me and getting it all tuned up for me, they went ahead and switched over my my sight for me. The dial proof, man, that thing is just awesome. I enjoy it and I love it. But they hooked me up and they did me right. So I go out. Wasn't successful, but you know what? I enjoyed my new bow, and I enjoyed being out in the woods with it. But that being said, it's really about the importance of checking your equipment. It all started with, you know, making sure my axle was right, making sure all the cams were right, everything not dinged, not bent, not chipped, all my strings are not frayed, the cables are good to go, my D-loop's good to go, my peep's tied in properly, and it turned out to be I just caught that little delamination. But the great thing was I came back that weekend from our hunt, seen a few things, nothing I wanted to shoot at, but it was a great hunt weekend. And come Tuesday, they called me and said, hey, your bow's done. And I'm like, well, that's freaking awesome, bro. And went up, picked it up, nothing, covered under warranty. They had it done. It's right here. This is my backup now. We're gonna get it set up with another site, because I've got issues with buying stuff, as my wife will probably tell you. And I've got the landslide here. And this thing's also a really great site, but this will be a good one for the backup. I still shoot it. shot right after I got back to the house, because I shoot about every day, and that's what I enjoy. So that's about it, it. Make sure you check your equipment. Make sure you check your bow, especially. I mean, you're asking that thing to do a lot when it compresses those limbs really down tight, and that's a catastrophic event when it takes that arrow off and shoots it off. Let alone the event happening, a cracked limb. Or I've been shooting long enough, and I've done some silly stuff where I remember my first year when I nicked a string in a stand. So I was bringing my broadhead out, and stupidly enough, and probably a lot of guys have done it before, just touched that string, and 3 strands gone just like that. So you got to make sure you're taking care of your stuff. Don't do stupid stuff either. And I don't really know why I talked about that, but